teach a new thing. When my sister opened up and talked about the brevity of life, because that's what it is today. When I think about all these young men, young brothers, princes who didn't become kings because their life was cut short, I question whether or not this new thing that we're supposed to teach is being taught. We're shapers of kings, makers of queens, shapers of trees. The brevity of life is becoming an issue for us right here in the Virgin Islands. And really throughout the Caribbean. I spend most of my time, 80% of my task today is up and down the Caribbean, and I'm telling you that we have trouble in the family. It's the brevity of life. We can't control the length of life, that's true. We can't control the length of life, but we know that we must teach a new thing and help them to understand that they can control the depth of their life. I'll say it again. We need to teach a new thing as tree shapers, as makers of kings and queens. While we cannot control the length of life, but we can teach them to control the depth of their life. That requires a new thing. That requires a new way, a new method. The same lessons can be taught. There's nothing wrong with what my mother told me about the gap in my tooth, that it was a mark of who I am and where I came from. Because a lot of us smile today, Kea, with that beautiful gap in your teeth that defines who you are and where you come from. Remember where you come from. And so the fourth thing that I want to say as we remind ourselves to be tree shapers is that real leaders among the sisters and daughters and mothers, the aunts, the nenes, the many godmothers, is that real leaders, shapers of trees, makers of kings and queens, are ordinary people doing extraordinary things. That's all. Shapers of trees, makers of queens and kings, doesn't require extraordinary skills, because the truth of the matter is we are just ordinary people. Mothers, daughters, sisters, and aunts doing extraordinary things. And so my challenge today is that as mothers, as daughters, as aunts, as nenes, as sisters, and to my brothers, that real leaders sit among us tonight, and that the young people, and I give honor to all of you, young, beautiful ones that are sitting here tonight, and to my young brother especially, where's my young brother? That tonight when I came in and he asked, was he dressed appropriately for a night like tonight? He's not in the room, I guess he must have stepped out, and I said, yes. My brother, I thank you for asking the question, because it showed that you respected who I am as your mother, as your elder sister. And you asked because you respected the fact that you were coming, obviously in the presence of some shapers of trees, makers of kings and queens. And he said to me, am I dressed appropriately? And my question to him, my comment rather to him was, it is your presence at this moment that is more important. And I'm glad you're here. Of Africa for having me here tonight, and I'm glad I was able to stay and not catch that flight. And with that, I'm going to ask my young brother here to start the 8-minute video that talks about leadership, and it is compliments of my company, because we are determined that we're going to be shapers of trees, makers of kings and queens. Blessed love.
Yes.